If you look something like this, this, or this, the main question you're going to have is, do I cut, do I bulk, or do I do a body recomposition? Because the goal is to go from this to now looking like this. So I'm going to give you the answers of what to do if you are embarking on, I'm assuming you want to go from this to this, or this to this, or this to this, no matter, obviously, this guy's 57, by the way, still looks better than most 20-year-olds. So we're going to give you the answer of how to actually achieve this and what you should do in your approach. So it's nice and clear, stepping forward and moving forward, because I've started to understand that whenever you embark on something new that you're learning, a lot of the times people will give information that doesn't really walk you down the garden path. And as I start to learn new things, the more I can appreciate someone just being like, right, you're here, start like this. That is where I find a lot of value in. Now, by the way, if you're new to the channel, my name is Tom Sergi. I run the Gorilla Platoon, which is an online physique transformation program where we get results like this each and every week, or these, and then we just speak about them online so you can apply it into your own life. So let's start and explain what you should do. In all cases here, the very first thing we did from even this position here, and this position here, was we actually went into a body recomposition. Now, let's just debunk why we didn't go straight into an improvement phase, or a bulk as you call it, because for sure, but like in all cases, more muscle would be absolutely welcome with open arms. It really, really would, and arguably in all of the aftershots, they kind of look like they've got more. But the reason why you don't do that is because doing a recomp first so you can see the six-pack sets you up very, very, very well for a long improvement phase. I am all for improvement phases, and I'm so for improvement phases that I want you to sit in one for as long as humanly possible. But the prerequisite to a productive, and the emphasis on the term productive improvement phase, is to be lean enough first. Because when you get lean enough, your body is nice and responsive to pretty much everything. To the way your body utilizes carbs, to your training stimulus into the gym, to most important, I would say this one's most important, to how you physically look. When you have cut down your lean enough and you start to reverse out the back end and you start to get fuller with carbs, you're more full on a daily basis, your pumps are better. Trust me when I say that is the best your mental space will ever be in this process. You look the biggest you ever have, and you're the leanest, and your numbers in the gym are skyrocketing. It just sets a beautiful runway up to go and bulk for a long, long period of time. Then you can focus on getting lean. Because for a lot of you, you wanted to look pretty athletic. You wanted a good amount of size, but you also wanted to look athletic. If you start to bulk from this, or this, from the get-go, where you can't really, I mean, you can for sure in certain line, you will be able to see abdominals. If you start to bulk from that point, I can tell you right now, it will not do good for your mental health. Because as you get heavier and the kilos go on, you're going to look softer and softer and softer, and you're going to be much further away from where you actually want it to look like as an athlete. So even if, like, we kept all things equal, your own mental space will quit in this improvement phase before you even secured enough new muscle that you wanted to anyway, because of how you looked. If we kept everything else the same, like just me thinking about your own mental space first, that's why you don't want to start straight into a bulking phase from these first processes, because you won't stick to it for long enough anyway. And a lot of you will try and do 3 months. It's not long enough. It's really, really not long enough. The first couple of weeks, you're still pushing through your numbers in the gym that you could have done anyway, but you were just working your way up to it. The only way, when you're only building true muscle in the gym is, you'll know this, and some of you may have experienced this before, to improve an extra rep or to get more extra load on is absolute war. It is very, very difficult, and you are like, yes, we got an extra rep today on my flat dumbbell press. That's when you know you're building true muscle, because you had to really work from it. You'll know you're building muscle when you're going into the gym. For the last 2 sessions, you got 8 reps on a 100-pound dumbbell flat press. And this is how tactful you're being. You're like, well, if I do 105 for 8 reps, it's not as much as having to move the hundreds again for another full rep, because that'd be another 100 pounds added to the total. It's instead just 5 pounds extra per side, obviously 10 pounds total, per side added across the 8 reps. So it's a little bit of an increment that meets me halfway in between. And you'll be thinking like that in order to get that extra bit out. That's how you know you're in a true phase of building muscle. That is when you're going to be like getting the most out of your gaining phase. So if you look like this, to be specific, what should you do? You should go and do a body recomp first. How do you do a body recomp? Or we basically know that you need to be pulling off body fat, but you also still need to be getting stronger in the gym. In all of these cases, numbers were improving in the gym. I know this because I monitor them and check them in on a weekly basis. And for context with this middle result, this is about a 2-year phase of doing like recomping down, improving up, cutting down again, improving up, cutting down again, showcasing the leanness. Because here, as you can see, he is like bigger and leaner, and that's because of the process that we went on. These two results were done over the span of like, I believe, 12 or so weeks. I think this was sub 12 weeks actually. And this was the aftermath of the first recomp phase. Now, here's another thing to take into consideration before I tell you exactly how to recomp. When you get leaner, you will look bigger because you can actually see the muscle that you've already got. So you actually look a lot better anyway when you're leaner. And again, I'm not saying you're going to get leaner and that's you done. No. We're going to get real heavy. We're going to go into a long bulking phase, but to do so, we're going to get lean first. So we've got the runway to do so. It is also going to give you one of the biggest 0 to 1 improvements on how your physique looks if you've never done this before. Like if you've gone from this to this, you're going to be pretty darn confident as a human being when you walk around. You're going to feel very, very good in your own skin. You're going to think, I can't wait for the improvement phase because I was able to nail phase 1. And the fact when you start to see visible abs, it really does a lot for your own mental space. And I'm not saying that's the end. Again, to reiterate, this is just the start. This really is just the start. So in this phase here, what you're going to do is first and foremost, establish maintenance calories. You can do this many calorie calculators online. You're going to establish your maintenance. You're then going to sit below it at 200 calories below in a little bit of a deficit. But with the goal being an athlete, you're going to start straight on the money with formal cardio. This is going to be 20 minutes of cardio daily, heart rate 120 to 130 on something that's non-impact. You're also going to do 10,000 steps per day. And of course, you're going to do your gym sessions. Depends on your training age, but anywhere from like a 3 to a 5 day split will be absolutely perfect. And then from there, you're going to monitor and track absolutely everything from the amount of steps you did that day to the sleep you had, of course, and make sure you don't pay lip service to sleep. Every night, in bed for a minimum of 8 hours, so you can get 7.5 hours of sleep. You're going to track and record all food eaten, of course. Know that you've hit your macros and the overall calorie target. And then from there, you're going to track your scale weight daily and your photos on a weekly basis as well to see the improvement. Now, you will initially drop off a little bit of weight, but because of where food is and it's not so low, you'll actually find you can still train very well. You'll find a little bit below maintenance does not, and if you think it is, it's all in your head. You will not drop off your performance in the gym, especially not within the first 6 weeks of running this. If anything, from what I see from guys, they continuously get stronger during this phase. Because unless you're right in the back end of it, I've just done a cut myself and on the same shoot as these guys. You only drop a tiny bit of strength in the last dying weeks when you're flat as a pancake and you need to get that last bit of body fat off. That's the only time. And even then, your dumbbell might go down one number on the over the overall rack. So like, don't think as soon as you go below maintenance calories, all your strength drops off. It doesn't. A lot of that is just in your head. Yeah, sure, you might get a bit flatter where you've not got as much carbs inside the muscle as you could have. But for the most part, it's not going to be an issue. It's really, really not. It's just in your head. So you should still be getting stronger. And you're going to monitor this process. And for as long as you are seeing a little bit of a dip in scale weight, keep things running the way they are. Eventually, that will slow down. And because you want it to be an athlete, we push your cardio up first. Again, so not only do we get you leaner, we also get your heart healthy. A lot of you need to get a healthier heart. Like, cardiovascular disease is no joke. Start from a young age. I'm very lucky that I joined the British Parachute Regiment nice and early, hence the tattoo here. And CV has always been a big part of my life. And again, you want it to be an athlete, so do your cardio. Like, I can't stress this enough. Sleep well, do your cardio, lift your weights. You need all of them. We're not in the business of sacking one off to, I don't want you to become a runner and you don't lift. I don't want you to become a night owl and you don't sleep, and I don't want you to become some big ass bodybuilder that never does cardio, because I want you to have a fit and healthy heart. The goal of all these results here is to be athletic, not just to be like human balls of muscle. We want both. Let's have some solid levels of ambition here. So from there, when you don't see a drop off and we're ready for a change, you're just going to turn the dial of cardio up to get that next drop off. Just go an extra 10 minutes per day now. So now you're running with 30 minutes of cardio per day. And that scale weight will start to drop off again until it doesn't. And then you're left with the same dilemma again. I'd go again an extra 10 minutes of cardio to 40 minutes daily, and then see the improvement again. Now it starts to stall a little bit, then you can look at manipulating your food intake, and then you've got two options from this. I would keep your protein where it is, to be honest, for recovery. And then you have the trade-off between fats and carbs. Now, there's absolute pros to both. Keeping your fats nice and high will keep your hormones in the best possible space they could be. Keeping your carbs nice and high will keep your energy in the gym as high as it possibly can be. So you are left with the trade-offs. If you're going to pull from carbs, take it from nutrition that is away from the session. So I would say right at the end of the day, because if you're going to train like lunchtime, you want your carbs loaded in the morning anyway. Or you take from fats. Now, the benefit of taking from fats is what you pull is going to be very small in the amount of volume that comes out of the meal plan. So if you're ready to pull, and I always say anywhere from 150 to 200 calories, if you're going to pull 30 grams of dark chocolate out the very back end of your diet, that's 180 calories. 30 grams of dark chocolate in your hand is nothing. It's absolutely nothing at all. So you will make that trade-off, which one you would prefer to see come out. It depends. I personally pull from fats in the beginning, then I'll hold them there for a while, and then I'll start to pull up the carbs, and maybe right towards the back end, if we can do a quick change of fats and take them out, because again, I'll never have someone on 0% fat. Obviously, we need fats in a great space. Fats are a beautiful macronutrient. But that'd be the changes I would make for it. And you'd keep going down until you've got the six pack. And the goal there was to really look at this as like a prerequisite to a solid gaining phase. The prerequisite in the sense that like, we primed you to good quality training. We made sure you lifted correctly. We made sure that you actually slowed down the reps as you were lifting, so you're used to and have good foundations. We got you lean enough, so now you've got a long ass headway before you get too out of condition and become too unresponsive to the way your body utilizes food and your own training. And now you can go in a long improvement phase. So I would always say, do you bulk, do you cut, or do you recomp? The answer realistically is you're going to need to recomp first, and then, because otherwise a straight out cut, the difference between a straight out cut and a recomp is, the straight out cut is you want to get that body fat off as fast as humanly possible at any cost. That's the way I see a cut, to be honest. You want to make sure you are primed and ready with your numbers in the gym, ready to progress on from an improvement phase. So, and in terms of recomping, don't look at this as like an even split of dropping body fat and muscle built in this phase. It's absolutely not. If anyone tells you it is, they are lying. You will drop a significantly more amount of body fat than muscle gain. You must have some humility and respect to the game of lifting weights. It can take, unless you're a brand new beginner, in which case, got a video coming out about that soon. Unless you're a brand new beginner, you are going to be at a steady rate of muscle gain throughout the year, and that's okay. Because what people also underestimate is like, what a kilo of muscle actually looks on a human being, or what 2 kilos of muscle actually looks on a human being, like gained across the two photos. It's like night and day better how they can look across two photos when you've gained 2 kilos of just pure lean tissue. Like go to the supermarket, buy 2 kilos of chicken breast. Imagine like spreading that out across your body. You'd be a lot thicker. So just know it may seem like demoralizing. You only gained X amount of muscle across a certain period, but just know what that actually reflects. And that was what it was about in the first place. How you looked visually, the improvements on yourself. Anyone seen my transformation will know like the difference in what a lot of muscle can make to you. So going back to it, you will be lighter by the time you finish the recomp because of the speed in which you can drop body fat. You can drop body fat at a kilogram rate per week. You cannot gain muscle at a kilogram rate per week unless you're taking all the gear with no idea. So that is what I would do. This is exactly what I do for my members to get them the results like this. And then obviously from there, they push on into the longer gaining phase. So hopefully give you some clarity on what to do next. If you found this video valuable, subscribe to the channel. If you want me to do this for you and you want to come and join us at the Gorilla Platoon, there'll be a link in the description, and I'll see you on the inside. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.